played really well. We played really well last game for sure. We did make some mistakes. 11-score touchdown. But as far as assignments, we've definitely improved as we've gone on each week. And we got to continue to do that, though, because now we're getting into SEC play, and mistakes are more costly now than they are any other time.
Are you disappointed there haven't been more takeaways so far?
Yeah, especially since we talk about it so much all the time during practice, during meetings. That's one of our emphasis is making sure that we cause turnovers, root the ball out, get interceptions. And we've been doing a good job of getting picks in practice, but we got to really it takes a whole team's concentration to rip the ball out off the runner and off wide receivers and stuff. And for us to win big games like SEC games, we got to create more turnovers for us.
What kind of challenge is it covering a guy like DJ Williams, who's such a receiving threat?
Yeah, he's definitely one of the more athletic tight ends that we're going to face this year. But he also does a great job blocking too. But we got to know, what they're going to be running so we can anticipate what routes are going to be coming, because he is one of those guys that if he gets in the open field that he can make plays. We can't let him loose, and we got to definitely be on top of our game.
What have you seen overall just from watching film on Petrino's offense? What sticks out to you?
They do a lot of different things to confuse defenses. Usually it's the defense trying to confuse the offense with coverages and all that, but they do a lot of different things to get defenses off their game. But they do have a lot of athletic receivers that they can get the ball to, and he does everything he can to do that. They do a lot of different routes that are meant to confuse man coverages and zone coverages and all that stuff. So he definitely has a different style of offense than we're used to seeing.
Corey, Eric Andrews is a guy who's obviously a little undersized for that jack position, but he's kind of grown into it and earned some playing time despite his size.
Right.
You're kind of similar because you weren't exactly prototypical size for a linebacker. You got bigger and earned. Are you and him kind of similar that way?
Yeah. Both of us have the attitude that size doesn't matter for us as long as we go out there and compete, and it's all about mentality. I've said it before. If you think you're big enough to play with those guys, then you can. You just got to be able to use better technique than some guys who are bigger. They can get away with a lot more mistakes with their technique. And it's, for me and Eric, we got to be on top of our game, making sure we're playing the right position all the time. We're not getting our bodies out of position. Our feet are always right, making the right steps. Because if we don't make the right steps and offensive lineman gets their hands on us, it's easier for them to push us around than it is for somebody who weighs 350 or 250 pounds.
Is holding the point against the run the biggest challenge for an outside linebacker who's maybe 10 or 20 pounds lighter than a lot of them?
That's definitely the hardest job for us, especially when you got even during practice you got DJ Fluker who's 350 pounds. It's not an easy task at all. And then when you get these starting SEC offensive linemen, that's definitely the hardest task for us. You just got to hunker down and know it's coming.
Quarterback like you're seeing this week, can guys like Thomas Dara or AJ give you a look that's anything similar to what you're going to see in the game?
Yeah, both of them have great arms, and this guy has a cannon, and you can tell on film that he's able to make big league throws. But AJ and Thomas can both do the same, and they're doing a good job for us this week, giving us looks, and our scout team receivers are really doing a good job too, giving us the kind of routes that we're going to be seeing. Because it's hard to get a game-like experience during practice against scout teams, but kind of the guys we got that are running on the scout team, it definitely makes it a little bit better for us to get a better look.
So much is made about their passing game, but they do still have a couple of good running backs, especially Michael Smith in all SEC. How much time are you guys spending on the run? We know they've got 3 or 4 backs that can rotate in and out, and all of them are fast and shifty. And you can tell by watching games earlier in the year that they can make plays anytime they want to. So it's a big focus for us. We're not just focusing on just the pass, because we know last year we got gashed a few times on some runs that we didn't make the right plays on. And, we're ready. We're working out there correcting those mistakes and make sure we don't let them let loose like they did last year.
Corey, you take anything from last year, Steve, what you did from last year? Is that different with Mallet, what he's doing from last year?
As far as scheme-wise, no. I think they're letting him have a little more opportunity to throw the ball, make deep throws, instead of just small, shorter routes, giving him more control of the ball. But he's definitely got the arm to throw, to be the deep threat like Matt Stafford was last year. He's got a cannon, so you can tell their play calls might be a little bit different, but overall their scheme is still the same thing.